So I'm an ambassador for Make Your Mark, which I work in cooperation with Made in Brunel in this event. Make Your Mark's a national campaign to get 14 to 30-year-olds more enterprising within whatever organization they're involved in, be it a startup or their own business. And they've asked me to basically come along and tell you a bit of a story about my background and how I and my team, my company, are making our mark. So I'm a product designer. My professional life started off an internship in California. First product I ever designed, a couple of years ahead of its time, wireless headset, 2001. That experience taught me one thing, which was really to question my industry. A product that ends up in landfill, is that really good design? And that thought has really underwritten my career to date. So from California, I moved on to New Zealand. I couldn't find a company in the UK where I could practice the kind of design which I wanted to practice, environmentally and socially responsible design. Locus Research in New Zealand gave myself, one of my fellow directors in my business, our first big break, and took us on to work with them for the year. I think that's me looking at the sign, wishing or wondering what I would do when I returned to the UK. So when I got back, still unable to find really the company that I wanted to work for, myself and 4 co-conspirators got together and started our own company. And the big idea was to have 2 brands, one a consultancy and one an IP, intellectual property-based business. That idea, that sort of germ of an idea in 2003, has culminated in a business with 2 brands, Elemento 6 and Lightweight Medical. Elemento 6 does sustainable design consultancy, and Lightweight Medical does medical device IP. We've got 2 offices, one in Glasgow, Govan, for anyone who's been up there. It's a scary part of Glasgow where the shipbuilding started, and just along the road in Angel. Grown to 10 people in 4 years, and we're just about to take on a couple more, taking us up to probably a middle-sized consultancy or design company. So we do a lot of talking, quite an unusual culture, very flat hierarchy, just directors and associates. Do a lot of off-site retreats, and I think a big part of our stability isn't that just down to the business model, it's down to the kind of way we're approaching things. So we talk a lot, go on off-site retreats, really try to create a really good and enduring culture. Our second big break was winning the Shell Livewire UK Entrepreneur of the Year Award in 2004. A great accolade that gave us a springboard, and they also gave us £10,000, which was useful because we hadn't been paid that year. The other unusual thing to our design company is that having come from a consultancy background, people don't know whether they're coming or going. Another big part of the company since we started in 2003 is putting in place really solid systems so that you can explain to clients, explain to partners where you are in the design process, and basically harness our creativity. And I think it's this approach that's meant we've punched way above our weight. So this slide about looking up a Frenchman's bottom, but also about rest and relaxation. And really our approach to sustainability, to the environment, isn't because we're a bunch of eco-freaks, tree huggers. It's because we're all users of the outdoors, and basic country code is that you should leave things how you found it. And this is my one lecturer slide. Sustainable, after all, is just the most pure form of good design. By Don Danby in this world-changing site, and that piece is actually about a talk I gave. But the 4 pillars that have underwritten my career so far are these 4 at the bottom, 4 TLAs: evidence-based design, user-centered design, sustainable product design, and return on investment. And I'd urge any of you guys that are going out into the workplace just now to really understand what each of those pillars mean, because that is design for the next 10 years. Okay, so any aspiring design company needs an iconic HQ, and this is one of my favorite slides. We got hold of a 4th floor basically mill in Glasgow, and this is before the renovations, and each of the 5 directors worked 5 100-hour weeks to pull it together, and the result was this here, which isn't just a beautiful workspace, but it's also entirely sustainable. So it's got a wood pellet burning stove, beautiful environment to work in. We designed all the furniture ourselves, culminating in a piece of the new design, which some of you might have seen. Okay, so a bunch of product designers in the room. I'll give you a bit of product porn. So basically, this is a great product. It's based on conductive polymer technology, which our student this year, Sam Weller, has actually used within his project. But the reason that this is interesting is this is a collaboration between Lightweight Medical and a company called Indotherm Medical. So they're not our clients. This isn't fee-for-service work. This is us performing enduring partnerships, which are really high growth. And the same as Tanya, we get a royalty for each one sold. This is about success. This is about 2006, our company took a massive leap forward. We won a grant from the DTI Technology Programme, which is £80 million a year, which is generally given to big business. As a small business, under 10 people, we managed to secure one for £250,000, which in product development money is actually a reasonable feat. and that has gone on to a new joint venture, which I'll come back to. Some more product. This project was actually my final year student project. It's taken 5 years to get to market and just about killed me, but that's the base product to which Lightweight Medical was set upon. It's a neonatal incubator for moving babies between hospitals. It now has global distribution, and with the product you saw earlier, is going to go on and revolutionise the way that babies are moved between hospitals. Design Week Awards. Joe Fair is actually, it turns out, a judge on this, and we got through by the skin of our teeth, apparently. But we came runner-up in the Industrial Product Design Awards. Again, really unusual for a company that's only 4 or 5 years old with an average age under 30. The win earlier I talked to you about, the DTI win. So I've been seconded for a year to a new business, and that new business, as you'd suspect, somebody who's at the forefront of sustainable design, is in the energy and carbon sector, and it's a product service system. And this, again, is another thing for the next 10 years. Products on their own is not enough. Very often, products are being tied to some sort of service. And that's going to be a massive project for us, and it's on the 18th, next Monday. It's launched, called Onzo. This is pretty much how I try and live my life on a daily basis. Sometimes it's quick and takes 2 seconds, like this, and other times it takes quite a few years. And I think there's been quite a few overtones about the need to stick with what you're doing and to take a leap of faith. And I can only back that up and urge all of you guys here to really go out into the marketplace to make a big difference and make your mark.